Hi there. This is a brand new yarn from Bernat called Bernat Little Tots. Has a little monkey on the label. Monkeys are so popular right now. It's a very, very soft yarn, as most baby yarns by Bernat is. Now this one says Little Tots because it's created for making things for toddlers and for bigger babies. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit loftier than the regular baby yarns. Most of the baby yarns by Bernat are sport weight, but this yarn is not. This is a medium weight, and it uses a size 8 knitting needle, 5mm. You'll get 17 stitches for every 4 inches or 10 centimeters. It'll use a size H8 crochet hook, 5mm. You'll get 13 single crochets for a 4-inch or 10 centimeter square. It is machine washable and dryable delicate. So that would mean I would wash it with cold water. Just me, that's just the way I work. Wash with cold water and dry it on the delicate cycle. Or you could just lay it out and let it dry by itself. That's probably what I would do with a hand knitted or a hand crocheted item. I don't like to throw those things in the dryer. Okay, it's 95% acrylic, 5% nylon. There's 173 meters or 190 yards. 100 grams of yarn, 3.5 ounces. And the color that I have is called Daffodils. It's a pretty yellow and green and white. It's nice. It does look like a field of daffodils. There's a free pattern on the label. This one's for a blanket. This pattern is for a different blanket, and there's that same blanket again. So you'll look on your label and decide which pattern you like. And there's also free patterns on the Bernat website. Go to www.bernat.com and do a search for the Little Tots yarn, then click free patterns or pattern books. Eventually they'll have some pattern books available maybe. So this particular pattern is a tumbling blocks baby blanket to crochet. So that's a crochet pattern. This pattern is a cable baby blanket to knit. You'll find knit and crochet patterns on the website. So I'm going to try this yarn and see how it feels. Now, when I looked at the website, it said that it is a tiny boucle yarn twisted with a soft baby yarn, and you can see it when I untwist it a little bit. You can see how there's a little tiny boucle yarn twisted in the middle of it. The green is the boucle and the white and yellow is the regular. So that's what gives it that lofty feel. So I would think that this yarn would be good for making a toddler sweater or hat or scarf or mittens or all kinds of stuff. A cardigan, slippers. That'd be cute. Baby slippers made from this. Alright, so let's try to knit with it. See how it knits. I have a feeling it's going to be easy to knit with. Probably the only thing we'll have to watch out for is maybe that boucle would, wow, this really feels good. It is so smushy. It's like a marshmallow. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a marshmallow. Wow, it feels really good. This would be fun to work with to make something for a baby. It's really cushy and stretchy too. It stretches quite a bit. Not like elastic, but it does have a stretchy quality to it. There. So let's try to... This yarn is just making me smile as I work with it. It feels really good. I'm surprised. Lots of times you can't tell by looking at the yarn in the skein what it's going to be like to work with. But this is, it's a good feeling yarn. It flows nicely with the needles. and it has a good feeling in my hands as I'm holding it. It feels nice. It makes me happy. I would love to use this to make a whole blanket. Some yarns I would, get tired of using them after a while, but not this one. It just feels good. I can tell this is going to be a good yarn. Nice. I like that boucle part. Sometimes boucle will get tangled on your needles, but this doesn't, because of the other yarn that's twisted with it that keeps it from getting tangled with your needle. So that's a smart choice for them to put these together like that. Uh-oh, I went under a stitch. Silly me. I'm always doing stuff like that. So I might switch to a different needle now and see how it feels. But this is working well with metal needles. Some people prefer to use bamboo needles, but I find sometimes that bamboo needles don't work as well with acrylic yarn as they do with wool or with cotton. So sometimes it's better to use metal needles with acrylic yarn, or vice versa. Everybody has their own way of knitting. Just try the needles that you have until you find what feels best for you. I'm going to try these Denise interchangeables with it and see how they feel. Can't really judge when you're using both needles at the same time. So I'm going to give it a row. I'm going to wait till I get to the next row and see how that feels. It feels good so far, but like I said, I'm using both needles right now. There. Put that down. Now I'll just use my Denise needles. See how that feels. Feels good. I think I liked it better with the metal needles though, because these Denises are gripping it a little bit more than I would like. The yarn seemed to flow better with those metal needles. So that's probably what I would use with this yarn. I think they say that the Denise needles are made from resin. I don't know how you pronounce it. I know that when you play the violin, you rosin up your bow, so I don't know if that's that kind of resin or rosin. So now I want to purl a few stitches and see how that feels. Not bad. It's feeling good. It's making a nice fabric too. The garter stitch looked good. Reminds me of a marshmallow still. I don't know why, but it does. Something about the feel of it reminds me of a marshmallow. So now I'm going to switch back to my metal needles so I can do a row of knits and a row of purls. But I think I would stick with metal needles all the way through with this, because it does seem to go quicker with the metal. If you have fancy metal needles, you can use those. I'm using straights, can you believe it? A little tiny short straight. This is the shortest knitting needle I've ever seen. I got it in a little knitting kit. found on clearance somewhere. I thought it was so cute I had to have it. I thought it'd be good for making like a scarf or something when you only have a few stitches on the needle. So now I'm going to try to purl with it. See how that works. My arm is rubbing across the table, making noises, making funny noises. Crazy arm. Okay. It'll be easier when I'm not reaching around the camera, I'm sure. Yeah, it purls well with the metal needles too. I would, like I said, I'd stick with the metal needles all the way through with this yarn. Easy to knit with, easy to purl with. There. When you stick it in the right hole, it works. Okay, there we go. And the fabric looks good. Yeah, that'd make a sweet little sweater. Sweet. This work good for boys or girls, wouldn't it? I like it. And I think that the yarn in the ball feels a little bit softer than it does after you work with it, but it's still soft. I wonder why that happens. After you make the fabric, it doesn't feel quite the same as the yarn in the ball does. It's interesting to me how that happens with different yarns. So now I'm going to unravel that. And I'm going to try crocheting with it. And it unravels so easy. Wow, look at that. That's nice. Woohoo! Easy. Nice. That just flows. So now let's try to crochet. See how that feels. I have a feeling it's going to be good. Chaining is easy. Now let's do a single crochet. Interesting color, isn't it? With that yellow and the green together. This would be good for a boy. Could make a little vest. That would be cute for a boy, made from this. A little sweater vest. Or a hat. Or a hat and a scarf. Or a cowl. Or some baby booties, slippers. So that worked well. Now let's go to the other side. Yeah, I can see these stitches without a problem. Still have to feel it a little bit, but not that bad. My eyes are not as good as they used to be when I was younger, so that's why it takes me a while with my stitches. Sometimes I have to stretch it out and feel it. And the last stitch is always difficult for me. Still feels like a marshmallow. I love this yarn. So there you go. That's how the fabric works with crochet. I like this yarn. It's an interesting feel. Now, if you make this as a gift for somebody with this yarn, be sure to put a label in there saying that you made it yourself, so that they know how precious it is and they won't just throw it around and rough it up. There we go. You know, the fabric feels very soft with the crochet fabric. I think the crocheting makes it a little bit looser than it was with the knitting. Anyway, there we go. You've seen it knitted and you've seen it crocheted. So hopefully you can find some Bernat little tots in your area that you can buy and work with. And if not, go to the Bernat website, www.bernat.com, and look up Little Tots yarn and click on the Bernat shop, and you'll be able to buy it online. So there you go. See you guys later. Bye.